Question 21, Part B. The table summarises the times in minutes that giraffes in a herd slept during 24 hours. Write down the modal class interval for the time a giraffe in this herd slept. So the modal class is going to be the most common one. In other words, the one with the highest frequency, which here is going to be 12. So the modal class itself is the group 60. And we'll put the little symbol in. Somewhere between 60 to 80 minutes. Part 2. Work out an estimate of the mean time that a giraffe in this herd slept in 24 hours. I'm just going to scroll to the right here. I'm going to add a couple of extra columns on here. When we've got a grouped set of data, we need to find the midpoint as a way of estimating where the data is lying in each group. So halfway between 0 and 20 here would be 10. Halfway between 20 and 40 would be 30. And then you'll notice that these are going to go up by 20 each time. Okay, so all we've got to do now is use those midpoints to multiply them by the frequency. So it's going to be midpoint times the frequency. So 1 times 10 is 10. 4 times 30 is 120. 10 times 50 gives us 500. 12 times 70 is 840. 3 times 90 is 270. And 2 times 110 gives us 220. So now all we need to do is add up the totals. So first of all, we need to find the total frequency. So total, we'll do total of the midpoint times the frequency first. Add all those together and we get 1960. So the mean is, add them all up, which gets 1960, and then divide by how many there are. So how many there are is going to be the total frequency. And the total frequency is 32. We get that just by adding up all the numbers in the frequency column. So now all we've got left to do is, well, the mean is add them all up, gets 1960, divide by how many there are. There are 32, so 1960 divided by 32 should give us an answer, and that gives us 61.25. and if we look back at the data, 61.25 will be somewhere placed in and around here, which is roughly what we would expect, so it's a sensible looking answer. Part C. It is known that none of these giraffes slept for less than 15 minutes. What effect does this have on the modal class and the mean? So none of these giraffes slept for less than 15 minutes. So the only group that could possibly affect is this one here, because it would remove the need for the group to go from 0 to 20. From 0 to 15. You could just start from 15 to 20. So if we ever think, that's not going to change the modal class, because the most common group is still going to be this group here, this 60 to 80. So that will be no effect. But if we know that there are no sleeping times between 0 and 15, then that is going to have a slight effect on the mean, because we wouldn't use 10 as the midpoint any longer. So the mean will increase.